Welcome back. You're still watching SA Today. We go to the Western Cape now, where Minister of Police Bheki Cele has described the attack on police officers as an attack on the state. His comments came after 6 anti-gang unit officers came under fire from at the Sweet Home Farm informal settlement in Samora Machel near Nyanga in Cape Town. Our reporter Carmel Loggenberg-Roberts joins us now from Cape Town and to give us an update. Carmel, thanks so much for joining us. I see that you're outside this health facility, Melomed. Why?
Yes, Peter, good afternoon. Peter, just to take you back, yesterday Police Minister Bheki Cele was close to the area of Sweet Home Farm, at least, where the 6 members of the anti-gang unit came under attack this morning. Now, what has subsequently happened is he has to come back today and they have now done a briefing as to say what will happen in the area. So earlier this morning, when the 6 members came under attack, they were looking for suspects alleged to be linked to murders in the area, and that's when they came under attack. And these were the 6, as you rightly stated earlier. What we have now subsequently learned following this and a high delegation meeting with the police minister and the head of the anti-gang unit is that they are planning to put Samora Machel and this particular informal settlement on lockdown for about 72 hours in search of these suspects. We also do know that they do know who they are searching for. One of the suspects was actually arrested in the early hours of this morning. We also do know that they have managed to retrieve one of the weapons that was used in that shootout.
All right, so give us a status on the health, if you can, of these 6 anti-gang unit members.
Of the 6 that were involved in the attack last night, 1 has been released from hospital. 2 of the members of the anti-gang unit are in this hospital directly behind me now. And then we do have another 3 that are in another hospital in Tukai. We have also managed to ascertain that of the 2 that are lying here, 1 is in ICU and 1 is in a surgical ward. 1 has subsequently been shot in the head, and the other 5 who are still in hospital have been wounded from the chest down. We do also know that they are in a stable condition.
All right, so the police minister addressed the media not so long ago. Tell us a little bit about what he communicated.
Now, there's obviously great concern. I mean, of the past few weeks, there has been a spate of shootings, and not only in Samora Machel. We've had reports of at least yesterday that the police confirmed when they were in Samora Machel for a stakeholders engagement meeting that in the month of June, at least since the beginning of June, in Blikkies Dorp, which is near Delft and the Cape Flats, there have been at least 12 murders in that area. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of concern going on. There's a lot of clamping down. There's a lot of work going down in Samora Machel, Blikkies Dorp, Delft, Athlone, Gugulethu, Lavender Hill. Now, Peter, in October last year, when this anti-gang unit was launched again, there were at least 100 members that were put part of the anti-gang unit, and they had a special focus. And this focus was Bishop Lavis, Bonteheuwel, and they were launched in Hanover Park. Now, yesterday during this engagement, and this was generally because of the spate of killings that have been taking place in the Western Cape, there were calls about, do they not think that this unit needs to be spread a bit further, especially if you look at the amount of violence and the amount of gun violence that are going in these particular areas that I have mentioned. The police minister then said yesterday there are areas that they are looking to go into. Training is underway, but at the moment now, the focus for at least today is Samora Machel. They are planning on clamping down the area for the next 72 hours. At least 200 members will be working in that area. They will be searching for at least 2 of the suspects. They are confident that they will find the suspects as they know who they're looking for. Now, earlier this morning when the SABC was in Samora Machel, we managed to get there when they were still combing the area. Members of the anti-gang unit were out there. They were speaking to community members, asking community members what do they know. And one of the issues when it comes to the anti-gang unit, and especially patrolling or going out into these areas, is that many of the areas that they are working in are condensed areas, and this was one of the issues that happened and that played out in Samora Machel in the early hours of this morning. It's bad lighting, it's tough terrain that these anti-gang unit members are working on. And those are some of the questions that actually came out today in this media briefing, because it seems like we're coming back, we're hearing the same thing, and it seems like that the matter is just escalating. But basically what they can do at the moment, and what they told us for the next 72 hours, hours, what they are doing is they're focusing on Samora Machel. They are clamping down the area, and they've got at least 200 police members that will be working in a cycle in that area until someone is, at least a few suspects are arrested.
I can only imagine that the community of Samora Machel and other areas going through this kind of thing are going through a level of trauma that's become almost commonplace, to hear gunshots going off almost every day.
You know, Peter, this morning when we were there, it was quite difficult to obviously get community members to come on air because they fear for their life, and you can understand that, because if you have to go into this area and you see the conditions that these people are living in, and many of them said is they just heard a hail of bullets in the early hours of this morning. They didn't want to go out. They fear for their life. They fear for their children, and they just don't know what more can be done. We do know that there is a collaboration between the community policing forums, between the police. Some community members are trying to help, but in a situation like this, especially if you look in Samora Machel, we do know that it is a dangerous area. Police have confirmed that it's a hideout for many dangerous criminals. So the community are basically saying, what more can they do? They're living from day to day, they're living in fear. Obviously what they have told us is that they don't want to speak out because they don't want to be the ones where if you're doing interviews with them, they don't want their face on camera. They're scared to speak to the media. So you can imagine living in a situation like that. It's a hail of bullets every other day. Police are trying. The anti-gang unit has come under attack. So what more do you do? And as community members, it also comes down to living conditions. As I spoke earlier about the bad lighting in the area, the tough terrain in the area, that there are so many issues that are facing these communities, and now still coupled with a situation of this continuous gun violence in the area.
Carmel, we're going to leave it there for the time being, but thanks very much indeed for that comprehensive update. That's our reporter in the Western Cape there, Carmel Loggenberg-Roberts, reporting on the 6 Western Cape anti-gang unit members that were shot in an operation, and they are in hospital, some of them very critical at this time. We'll keep you updated on that story as the program progresses.